Hi everyone, my name is Elina and you're watching a Marvelous Designer tutorial. This video is the second part of the pants tutorial that I will leave the link or up here or in the description or maybe both. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to use the latest feature of Marvelous Designer. One of them is Denim Wet Wash. And then we're going to explore in the connector store and also adding accessories like chain or trims without gluing them. So let's begin. Okay, in the last part we learned how to make this pair of pants. Now we're going to add some texture and accessories. First thing that I'm going to talk about is the new feature of Marvelous Designer, which is called Denim Wet Wash. For adding denim to our fabric, we have there are 3 ways. That in the library here under fabric, we have 3 types of denim. You can choose one of them. You just drag it and drop it on the fabric of your pattern or your pants. The next way is to switch to the new library. Try now. In the connector store, you can search for fabric. For example, here you have so many categories. Here, fabric, I write denim. And you can use your denim. This is it's not that I can drag and drop it. I should pay for it. But now let me choose a free one. Let's choose this one and I drag it simply. More than this. Simpler than this, you couldn't do it. In the connector store, you have access to so many fabrics, so many materials and resources. The next way, first, let's have our old library. Let's say that I'm going to use the denim of my old library, the default one. I want to use this denim lightweight. Now I'm going to use this new feature which is called Denim Wet Wash. Before using this new feature, you should be aware of 2 things. One is that your fabric here of your pants, in the property editor, make sure that you have a denim texture for your base color map. If not, this feature doesn't work. The second thing is that by following this path that I'm inserting here, you should see that this folder is not empty, because mine was empty and I contacted Marvelous Designer support team and they responded me immediately and told me that I should check the folder of my washing washing texture, and if it's empty I should install and reinstall the software again. And I did that, and it should be like this. You should have these black and white PNGs, or maybe it's just white white PNGs that you see. If not, you should reinstall your program again. We are having already the denim texture. Now we're going to use this new feature. First, in the type, you choose denim. And then in the denim wet process, you can click here. You have 6 types of wet process that I put the result here. The color that I use is Persian blue, and let's say that I choose acid wash. I click on it and I see the result. And as you see, it's like this. If you click here, you can see that you can change your map. Also, you can you can upload your own washing map if you have it. And also you can transform the width and the height of your texture, the ratio, everything that you want, for example. But it takes so much time because every time it should do its own process, so it takes time for sure. You see that it changes. And other options that you can customize them, for example, the first one is about the intensity or opacity of your wash map. Everything is about your wash map here. So usually the first option is about your opacity and intensity of the wash map. And then here we have blend, that it's about blend. We have it even in the Photoshop. It is about how your wash map and your original map try to blend to one another, how they react to one another. We have this also in Photoshop. And then we have absorbency, that it adds blur to the map. Do you see this? Here we have sharp edges. It's not that sharp, but respect to this, they are sharp. And then we have cycle duration, that even in the actual washing texture process, the longer duration removes more color from the base map. So by increasing it, you increase the brightness. You're somehow having a white pants. And the seam aberration, I don't have a puckering right now, a denim puckering, but it enhances the base map of the puckering applied on the pattern. Right now we don't have. Hi, this is Alina from Future. I beg your pardon for spoiling the final result, but I had to explain this part for puckering, that here in the object browser you can click here and customize the setting. The important thing is your material. You should select a material, and based on that your normal map changes if you pay attention to here. So usually by default it's cotton, but in general, if you add this puckering, without any base color map, it's going to be like this. But to have a more visible puckering, what you need to do is to click on hardware and trim, here puckering, and you can choose one of these alphas based on what your material is. So here I copied the path. It is cotton, but now I need denim. Copy the path. Here I change it to denim, and here I choose denim. You see other alphas here, so it's more visible. And just in this case, your seam abrasion works. Now let me show you. I press on 2 and I delete this part, and now here I add puckering, and in this seam abrasion you see that since I have the base map for my puckering, where is it? It changes. If I delete this base color here, whatever I do, nothing changes. So what you need, and is important, is to have an alpha to have a base color map. And that's it. So let's get back to the rest of our tutorial. Okay, let's say that I'm going to change the color of my base map. I'm going to use my Persian blue. Okay, and here I'm going to change. Now I'm going to make the pants more realistic by adding here in the old library hardware. And here you have washing texture. You have massage, bad wash, rip, and scrapping. You can use them. Let me see. I've never done this, and I'm going to try it in this tutorial. The new library. I've never had time to see here. And washing texture. We have washing texture, damage, so many things. So here you double click on the fabric. Here the last option. So for example, let's say that I'm going to use this or this one. Yes, I really like to drag it, but I just like to do it because if you do this, what will happen? You see that pattern becomes transparent, and this is the last thing that you want. Now I couldn't show you this. What you should do is to right click on it and say add as graphic. You can do it either on 3D window or 2D pattern window. Okay, here you can see its size. It's too much small, so let's make it larger. Maybe this one is better. If you want it to be larger, you can always do it using this triangle. You can always find it in the object browser under the graphic. Now the good thing about this new marvelous design that everything is more accessible, and also under every tab you can find what you have already used. So if, for example, if I make some changes here, now I want to use another graphic with the same changes, you can simply have it without doing anything because it uses the same graphic. If you want to add another, you can just click on it or copy it and then make it other changes. For example, if this one, I want it to be more transparent, I just do this. So usually we tend to delete. Here you can duplicate to the symmetric pattern because it is a symmetric pattern. Usually we like to make our graphics more transparent. I think it's too much big. No, I really don't like this. Or I drag it in the graphic part, and instead of right clicking on it, now my right click wasn't working, now it is working. You can drag it in the graphic tab under your object browser. Now let's switch the old library. You can change the color of your graphic. For example, if you want something like this, yes, but I don't want to. I was happy with what I had, and just like this, you can have a perfect pair of pants. So let's add some top stitches to our garment. I like to make my length like 0.20 centimeter. Let's make space. Let's make some space between the top stitches. And now let's add some top stitch to our garment. Now let's add chains, no? So let's go shopping with the new library. I should inform you that in the new version of Marvelous Designer, you can add trim as top stitches. So let's go into the connector store and trims. Under trims, you can find so many trims of other users of Marvelous Design of Clo Connect. And in this case, let's find top stitches, and then I'll write chain. As you see, there are so many ways, there are so many products that you can find. Here in this part, you can see my past purchases. To find what I've already used, if I set the price as free, now I can select my desired chain, and I should drag and drop it under the top stitch tab. After that, I need a carabiner. I need a carabiner. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Let's choose one of them. Maybe this one, maybe this. Okay. Now under the trim, where is it? Here. Is it trim? Yes, it's trim. I drag and drop the carabiner. I don't know what I say carabiniere, because here in Italy we have carabinieri, that's why. Okay, now here I drag and release the left click here. Now let's position it. Position the carabinieri. Okay, in the new version of Marvelous Designer, you can see that I can use tack tool. You click on your trim and then you click on the pattern or fabric. Let me position it well. I think I like to make it a little bit larger. Yeah, it's easier. It's not moral, but it's easier. Yes. And as you see, the trim and the fabric interact, and it's a really good sign. Why my fabric theme seems thick? It's not thick. It shouldn't be thick. No, it's not thick. It's my internal line that is folded. Okay, now let's add a new piece of fabric. I want it to be narrow, but I need another carabiner in the bag, so let's freeze it for now. And I copy this one and paste it in the back. Okay, here I don't need to trim it. So now let's bring the two tips of my fabric near to this. I don't like to say carabiner anymore. To these things, to these trims. I use tack tool again. Tack tool here. Now I'm going to overuse tack tool because it's so much fun. It's so much better than glue. Okay, this new feature that lets you trim bow, that lets you use a tack tool, it doesn't mean that you can't glue your trim anymore. So now let's add a new fabric. I'm going to give it to this. Now press on Z and then select two sides of the fabric, the pattern, right click, and then distribute and then align between segments, and press on K and click. Okay, now the fabric can be transparent as much as it is possible, and it doesn't affect the top stitch. It's a good news. It's a good news. And yes, that's it. You can change the top stitch settings here. When you simulate, you can't see the top stitches. It's normal, but yeah, that's it. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye.